got the what I call the Bloody Sowbug. It's been pretty productive for me. Good pattern, really easy to tie. Good in tailwaters. Anywhere you're going to find sowbugs, man, this thing hits. Even when you find crest bugs or shrimp, those work as well. So yeah, if you like what you see today, subscribe. Hit us up. Let me know if there's something else you want to see as well. Let's give this thing a go. So I start off with Moonlit hook. Let me see here. It's their jig hook, ML058, number 14. Yeah, so Moonlit hook, ML058, number 14. Pretty much exclusively tie these in a size 14. Then I use the tungsten slotted bead. I use a Moonlit bead as well. That's in a 3.0 millimeter. Pretty easy to start off with that. Next step is 0.035 lead wire. I basically put about 4 wraps on there, so maybe 5. All right, so you got 5 wraps of lead. What I like to do is leave a small gap right here between the bead and the lead, and that gives us some tie-off room, etc., to really get a nice seat there. So what I'll do is I'll throw in a handful of wraps there in the front, come around, hook that lead, put a couple in the back here. That really kind of locks our lead down in place, and then wrap over the lead a little bit. Okay. Cut off that tag in the back. And next step, we're going to put in some wire. So I use a light wire on this. Some guys use a little bit heavier. Heavier can make them a little more durable. This is what I have available right now. It's a black BR. I've tied them with different colored wires. It depends on the color that I'm tying. In this case, I'm using a dark Sowbug dubbing. There's a brand that's called Sowbug, and then there's also a Hareline brand, but I always use the dark rainbow color. Or I use that more often. I do time in light colors or greens. It depends on where I'm fishing, what I like. But this is my primary go-to. This dark color seems to work just about anywhere. So I'll take this wire. It's the black BR, and I'll just kind of take the end of it, and I'll see if I can get this in the camera. Stuff it in the back there of the bead. Put a couple wraps on it, and then wrap back towards the back of the bug, covering that wire. And I go back and forth a couple times because I want to get a little bit of a base of this pinkish thread. And the thread I'm using is it's a 140 in a fluorescent Cerise. But yeah, I like to have that pink underbody. That's what gives it the kind of bloody color that shows through. All right, now you have your thread wraps down. Bring my thread to the back, and I start laying in the dubbing. Now the dubbing has to go on really thick, and as we dub this up, this is way thicker than you normally would. It's actually going to give you a really kind of crappy loose noodle, which is okay. That's what you want, because we're going to brush this thing out, and we want that thread to kind of, or excuse me, that dubbing to kind of brush out with it. So I'll put some wraps in, twist that up. I'll wrap over top of itself a few times. I want it to bind down enough, but I don't want to have not enough thread, because I got to pull this dubbing, or not enough dubbing. I got to pull this dubbing out for my legs on the Sowbug. So you can see I'm using a ton of dubbing on this, just number 14 bug here. All right, so you get a nice noodle going again. Wrapping that around, and it just looks like a big old fat pillow of dubbing. And I'm starting to get close to the head, so I'm going to slow down a little bit, but I want to get a nice wrap in there behind the head, because we want to have a good full body all the way up. Okay, got a good full body all the way up. I like to kind of grab it and pull it back and sneak a wrap or two behind that bead. Okay, now I got my wire. And don't worry about your dubbing being all messy, because we're going to brush it out. Take your wire, and I start wrapping. I wrap in the same direction. I usually get about 4 wraps on there. And I don't wrap it really tight. you'll see, because we're going to flatten this bug out like a sow bug. And if you wrap real tight, it just doesn't get the nice profile. So get that behind the bead, tie that off. Nice and tight. I kind of wiggle my thread out because I don't want that sharp point. And then what I do here is I put a quick 2-turn half hitch on there because we're going to brush and I don't want to accidentally lose that. Alright, so I got my thread hanging. Again, it was that, let's bring that up so you guys can see that UTC Cerise and fluorescent pink. Fluorescent Cerise. Okay. Alright, we got our bug up. Next step, don't start brushing yet. We want to flatten this out. So if you look at the profile, it's kind of skinny and just, round. So I'm going to come in with a pair of needle nose. I'm going to start up here by the bead because this stuff's going to slip back. I think you just saw that. And I'm going to smash that down. And that's smashing that lead and those wire and making it really flat, just like a sow bug is, right? So you can see the difference in the profile now. It's a lot flatter. Alright, I got a good flat bug, and I'm going to take my Stomfo brush. I like the Stomfo brush. It works really well. A little better than I think some of the Velcro brushes I've made on my own. I'm just going to start whacking this away, pulling from basically the side up, to kind of get it to come off the bottom in between the hook gap. And I'm going to do the same on the top. And I work on it pretty aggressively up towards the head and the tail, really trying to get it to come out. And then the same thing, I'm basically trying to get it to where I can start to see that underbody of pink that we laid down. And so that's what your key is. You want to look and see, you want some of that exposed, but not too much, okay? And then once you have it set, I kind of just split it half and half as best I can with the brush. And I come in with my fingers and I pull that and I just kind of stretch it out. Get it to come, finesse it a little bit on either side. So I got that kind of pulled up, you can see. Alright, now that we got it pulled up, you're almost done. You just basically come in with your scissors and you make a snip. And you leave, about the width of the body on each side. Okay. So again, come in on this side, cut that, trim it up maybe a little bit in the back, get some of those stragglers, front. Okay, so now you got your bug. See how flat that is? I got my nice legs. And I'm just going to lay another little whip in there to finish it up. And before I do that, I just put a little bit of crazy glue on my thread. I like crazy glue versus Zap-A-Gap. It just lasts a lot longer. It doesn't clog up, etc. So then I'll put 1-2 wraps on there. That gets the glue down. And then again another 2 or 3. Build up that hot spot in the pink. There you go. When I cut, I leave a little tag. That's just personal preference of me. This thread's really slippery, so I like having that little tag there. And there you go. That's your Bloody Sowbug killer pattern. Go out there, tie them up, use them, have fun. If you like what you saw, subscribe. Come back, check out some of the other videos that we have going, and always feel free to leave a comment and let us know what else you want to see. Thanks. Peace.